And now it's time for a Q&A from you, the viewers. And our first question came in from JGA, and he wanted to know my thoughts on Google Plus shutting down. I have to say, I was a little sad to hear that they are shutting it down. I stopped using it a long time ago, as many people did. But my reason to stop using it was the fact that they were flagging my YouTube videos there as spam and threatened to not only kill my Google Plus page, but my entire YouTube channel. And I couldn't find anybody to talk to fix the issue. And my YouTube channel person just recommended I stop posting there just to be safe. So that's what I did. I actually just cut it off because I was worried about losing everything. If they shut down my Google Plus account, it was linked to my YouTube channel and the whole thing would have gone kaput. So that was why I stopped posting there. But when it launched, it was actually really cool. They had a lot of people who were jumping into the service all at the same time. As we talked about a few weeks ago, there's some advantages to being in a new social network early to build up a following, and I'll show you an example of that in a minute. And it was just a really kind of a multimedia-rich version of Twitter, in my opinion, in that you could post things out to the world. You got a lot of connection back with folks. Google was really putting things in front of people in a really smart way. The Hangouts were really cool. There was a lot of neat things that Google Plus was doing very early on, but it fizzled out pretty quick after that initial gee whiz factor went away. And I think there was a couple of reasons for it. The first was that they made the social network too complicated. They wanted you to put all of your friends into different buckets. So for example, here they were showing in this sample image how you would have people who shared an interest in biking on your profile be able to get content from you just for people that were interested in that topic. And I think this was just a little too much for people to deal with, given that Facebook, although it had this feature, didn't require you really to use it. And one of the onboarding things that Google Plus was doing was directing you to create this tended garden of all these different buckets of people. And they linked it up to your Gmail, and they were really trying to make this circles thing be kind of a central way to organize your contacts. But it was just too much work, especially if you had a bunch of people that started following you and vice versa. When you first got onto the platform, you were going to spend a lot of time just doing this stuff versus actually using the service. And I think that was one of the major knocks against it. I kind of liken launching a social network to restaurants in my small town here. I live in a small area, so if a new restaurant opens up and a few people go and have a bad experience in the first week, you're done. It's that cutthroat. But that's kind of what social networks are like too, because you only have so much time. And if you're going to spend all this time dragging people into circles versus actually talking to them, I think that could be a big problem. But there were some stars that launched on this because there was some really cool features that Google Plus launched with. One of them was the Google Hangouts feature. And initially, you could go into a Hangout and then invite the world in with you. And there was kind of a limit to how many people could come in at once. So it was one of these exclusive things. And this young lady, Daria Musk, who lives in my home state of Connecticut, actually, built up a huge following. She was doing these live jam sessions on Google Plus and bringing in other musicians. She was recording those sessions and putting them up on her profile, and it really built out very quickly for her, and she ended up doing a TED Talk on this topic. And again, she was an early adopter of a social network, and if you can provide some talent to a social network and get in before others do, you can really build up a profile very, very quickly. And Hangouts was just a really cool innovation because there really wasn't something that easy at that point in time for communicating with multiple people, and the fact that it would automatically switch camera angles to the different person speaking was really neat. That was something that no one had seen before, and the fact that it ran in a web browser was really, really innovative. And of course, they later launched some other tools as well. So Hangouts came out of Google Plus. It's certainly one of Google's key products right now. That's going to continue. Another thing that came out of Hangouts was Hangouts on Air, which allowed you to have that Google Hangout, but then also stream it out to others to watch as well. They even had some features where you could have people call in via a phone or another Hangout request into your Hangout for that broadcast. That became part of YouTube's streaming apparatus. So there was a lot of things here that eventually got ingested into other products. Another big product was Google Photos, which I'm sure many of you use. I don't know if that began as a Plus product specifically, but it launched with Plus and now is its own product and a very mature and robust photo organizing and sharing platform. That also came out of Google Plus. And I think what you could argue here is that YouTube became the better social media strategy for Google in the end, because YouTube now has as many logged in users month to month as Facebook, has longer on-site time than Facebook does, and really is a Facebook competitor in my opinion, which is why Facebook is launching a video product to try to compete with YouTube. So I think really what Google found was their niche was doing this video stuff, which ties in much better with their search engine and other algorithms that try to get content of interest to people in front of them when they're looking for that particular type of content. And TechCrunch put up a pretty good obituary for Google Plus that you can check out at the link you see on screen. What was really notable here is in the first lead sentence that 90% of Google Plus users' sessions are less than 5 seconds long. So people would go into this service and then just immediately leave. So there was some people still hanging around out there, but I think this is it for Google Plus and probably has been it for some time.
This channel is brought to you by the Lon.TV supporters, including gold level supporters Chris Allegretta, the Four Guys with Quarters podcast, Tom Albrecht, Too Much Sauce, Gerard Nuberg, and Kalyan Kumar. If you want to help the channel, you can by contributing as little as $1 a month. Head over to Lon.TV/support to learn more. And don't forget to subscribe. Visit Lon.TV/s.